Hey, what's up, everybody?
I'm here with Luigi.
Oh, man, I guess that's been me now. I'm officially Luigi. I had no chance to defend myself.
I wanted to be the first to make the joke on the stream.
Yeah, I'm officially been labeled. I'm Luigi. Welcome to ThRiVe is live at 5 on Sunday night on YouTube. We're glad you guys could be here, that you guys could join us. My name is Drew. It is not a lie. Regardless of who you might think, I did not come on as someone else. So yeah, I know it. I know I'm different. I understand. It happens sometimes. Quarantine, guys, it'll get to you. Okay. G, what's up? Nolan, hello, everybody. Maddie. But yeah, we're so glad you guys are here. As you guys are tuning in, I want to show you something because I got roasted, and I want you to see how they roasted me right here. Guys, is that fair? Do you think that's me? I just want to know if that's accurate. If you think that's accurate, please leave a comment in the section and let us know. I want you to tell me no, that's not accurate. Drew, you can never look.
Drew, is there not a photo of you?
I don't think those they don't exist. I don't think they've got me right here, man. They've got me in the virtual flesh. So I think we're good.
I think you should redo that picture, like that post, like
Oh, you think so? I should do a before and after one.
Yeah, like a before, like side by side.
Yeah, potentially. Oh, Fu Man Drew. Oh, that's funny. I don't think I could do that. I almost did when I was shaving it down, but I can't go any further. The beard's coming back, y'all. So don't. I know if Walker, if you're here, I know you've complained about me shaving. I promise you'll be back at some point. But with all of that being said, guys, we are glad you are here, and we have last week, if you were able to tune in, Pastor Josh was here from Effingham campus and led us in Two Truths and a Lie. It was really fun. We heard crazy stories, something about a squirrel landing on him in his sleep, and a bird dropping a snake, some other stuff. So all I got to say is, if you ever go on a camping trip with Pastor Josh, make sure you're at least 100 yards away because bad things happen to him. What?
Unless you like animals, then get near Josh because he has a lot of animal stories.
That is true. Effingham crew, vote or say something if you think that you guys should get a petting zoo outside of your church. I feel like that should happen. I feel like Pastor Josh would love that. The dad off inside, yeah, I do look a little bit like him, Adam.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out. Right. The sun, Bramlett, you see him up here? You see the sun? The sun's out, guns out right there. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, okay. Caterpillar on my lip. All right, so we're moving on so you can roast someone else's caterpillar on their lip. Okay. So, guys, this week we have another special guest, someone really cool. If you were able to watch church this morning, you may not recognize them. It might take you a few seconds. But he is the Mario to my Luigi. He is also a pastor at our awesome Grace campus. Give it up for Chris Dockery.
What's up, Chris?
Yes, Chris. Everybody. You're hanging out with us tonight, man, and love the stash.
Yeah, it's Drew. Why don't you tell everybody who inspired you to do yours?
Yeah, so really, if I really think about it, Jesus, man, I just think it all goes back to Jesus, and Jesus is the answer to everything. No, Pastor Chris had FaceTime me the night before I did this, and he had the mustache, and it took me a good second to realize who he was and what had happened to him. I thought he got into a fight and someone had removed it from his face. And so the next day I thought, I want to be like Chris when I grow up. So let me shave this off too. And so now here you have it. Also, let us know if you think Tim should grow one. That's what we're also trying to figure out. Stash party. If there's a will, there's a way. Just pray about it. It could happen.
So my 3-year-old likes to play with Play-Doh, and since I did this, he's making Play-Doh mustaches. So Tim, we can get you one.
There we go. There we go.
Please. That is gold. Is he really making Play-Doh mustaches?
He is.
Man, is he rocking, like wearing them around the house? Like, look, I'm you, Daddy.
Yeah, in his high chair, he's like, I want my mustache on. Nolan's giving all credit to Michael Christensen for the mustaches.
Hey, I appreciate that, but guess what? Jesus is older than Michael, so can't take that away from him. Okay. Yeah, I know. I don't look like myself, Maddie. I know it, but I am myself, right? It's the heart that matters. Okay. Jesus looks at the heart. Thought we talked about this before on Sunday. But anyways, Chris is here to also play Two Truths and a Lie and try to stump you guys, and also share a little bit about his crazy, awesome life. I don't know if he's ever been attacked by a squirrel, but I do know he's made it sound like he's got some other really cool stories. So Chris, yikes! You just wouldn't have done that to his face.
Dude, this is not a mustache-friendly church.
It is not. Look at
seriously.
savage.
Drew looks more like Drew than Chris looks like Chris. What does that mean? I don't know what that. I'm confused.
You look more like yourself. Like you don't look like a completely different person, is what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Because every time I wake up and I see myself in the mirror, I take a second to jolt back to realize that is me talking to myself.
In the mirror.
Yeah, I'm like, who is that? And then I play. So every morning. Chris, anything you want to tell the world of mustache roasters out there? Anything about yourself? 6'6".
I'm married. I have 3 awesome sons that are a lot of fun, and I'm glad they're being quiet so I can do this right now. Otherwise, you would just hear madness in the background. But no, I'm excited about this 2 truths and a lie. I think I've got some good ones to stump some people.
Yeah, I think you'll get them. I'm not gonna lie, guys. He asked me and Tim beforehand, and I don't even think we got any of them.
No, so. I'm wrong for sure.
Cool.
At least half of them.
Huh?
I'm wrong for at least half of them.
Yeah.
I know one is right, but that's just because it was given.
Yeah, I know. If Lily Kate, if you're here, this is especially for you, trying to stump you, because I know you like to somehow you say use your resources or whatever you like to call it and win every week, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do this. So, Chris, what is your first one? What you got?
All right, here we go. 2 truths and a lie. I have fed a bear. I've been attacked by a lion, and I've been a ropes course manager. 2 truths and a lie. I fed a bear with grapes. I've been attacked by a lion, and I've been a ropes course manager.
I feel like if you've been that close, though, to feed a bear with grapes, you've also been close enough to be attacked by the bear.
Now, what bear is this? Is this a full-grown one, a cub?
Yeah, full-grown black bear or brown bear.
Wow, that was quick too. There was no hesitation in what kind of bear that was. That was quick. We got comments rolling in already. Oh, let's see what we got. Branson. Branson, the first comment. I don't know if you're right though, Branson. Branson says lion. I'm not sure if he's right, but he beat LK. That's at least a point right there.
All right. So y'all want me to save them to the end, or go ahead and tell them how you want me to do it, Drew?
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and say. Let's see, because we got lion then bear. It'll be easier for us to track it. Lion and bear are the only ones we have up right now. Oh, 1 ropes course.
Oh, LK's under Branson's name.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Branson says no.
Jacob Bosarge is in there telling all your secrets, man.
I know. This man trained me.
Hey, why can't you handle all these stashes? It's the new look. It's the new look.
Emma, come on. Just embrace it. All right. So I'm telling them now, Drew. Is that what you want?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So last summer, I did manage a ropes course for Cole Hansen while he was away doing awesome things. And then a couple of years ago, I did, in fact, feed a bear grapes at my friend's animal sanctuary. It was kind of scary because I was afraid of losing my fingers, but I did not get attacked by a lion. However, at the same sanctuary, I won't say who, but my friend did get attacked by a lion.
What?
Okay.
What?
I was not there to see it, but it happened at that animal sanctuary.
Where is this animal sanctuary?
It is
Oklahoma?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Go get attacked by a lion.
It was not Tiger Kings, but
yeah.
I watched the first episode of that last night. I've been holding off and finally jumped into it.
It'll change your life for the worse, my friend.
Yeah. You call me Joe Exotic.
Apparently. So yeah, Adam's over there calling you. Yeah, everyone's going on. So Branson, you get the first point there. You got it right. Even if LK is playing under Branson, I'm giving Branson the point. LK, I can't do it. So Branson's got the first one. Has anyone been to Joe Exotic?
I think that's next year's youth trip, right?
Yeah. We're going to do a prayer walk. Through Joe Exotics. That'll be on the list. Everyone can bring their own tiger, so it'll be good. All right. Chris, what you got? What's your next one?
All right, number two. I went to the College World Series while I was in college for 4 years.
Fancy.
We won a national championship. That's number 2. And number 3, I've pitched a perfect game in baseball. So I went to the College World Series all 4 years, won a national championship, or pitched a perfect game.
See, they're so tough because they're all correlated with one another.
I'm trying to be tricky.
Man.
Knock LK off if she's actually playing under Branson's name.
Yeah, or if she's just bullying her brother and like holding him down. Branson, if she's holding you down and using your account, you let us know, okay? We'll send someone to save you. I feel like you pitched a perfect game to win the national championship.
But that would be incredible.
That would be able to do that against a team like that. Oh man, that'd be insane. Oh, Branson says help. We're on the way.
I don't know if I even want to help there.
You might want to stay out of that fight. So first lie is we got Megan Yardley says pitched, won a championship, World Series. So we have the third. So let's say if it's pitched, we've got Megan Yardley with pitched. We've got Abigail says won the championship, and Garrison says College World Series.
All right. So when I was in high school, I did, in fact, pitch a perfect game. Our team run ruled another team, so it was a shortened game, but it was actually on my senior night. I pitched a perfect game.
Man,
Pretty great memory.
that's awesome. And on your senior night, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to the College World Series all 4 years. I played at Lee University, and it was a really good team that I got to play with some great players who went on to play professional baseball. But we never won the national championship. Can you get this? We went second, third my 4 years there in the nation, but we never could get over the hump and win the whole thing.
What? But if you think about it, if you were second, third the whole time you were there, really other teams didn't win it every year. So really you guys really balanced out at the top as the top team. If you think about
you can say we were in the top 3 every year. But
yeah, and I feel like whoever won that every year was not always there. So I feel like you're the best in my book, at least.
Thanks, Drew.
Most consistent.
Yeah, the most consistent. Consistency wins championships, man.
Yeah, but if you're not first, you're last. So
yeah,
that's also true.
This is actually, unfortunately, this is true. But yeah, so we give it to Abigail. Abigail's got the point. Abigail, you're on the board. So good job. You crushed it. Also, this is Connor Diesel in the house. Connor, glad you're here. You also still missed it whenever we brought Sharon on. So that was for you. That's never happening again, but we're glad you're here now. Yeah, Connor said slight flex. That's hilarious.
I wouldn't say slight. It was a little bit of
We did go to the World Series. I did pitch a perfect game.
On my
I got the ring to prove it all. So.
Yeah, I will hand out autographs after church eventually. But anyways, awesome. Yeah, so Abigail and Branson are on the board. All right, story time. What's your next one? Okay. All right, Garrison. Funny guy.
Okay.
All right. I think, is this a public chat? Some random guy named Garrison Rose just joined in and started saying things.
All right, here we go. Y'all ready for number 3?
Let's do it.
Number 3, I have jumped out of an airplane. I can clap with my feet, and I ran a 15K without training.
Slight flex again, right, Connor?
Like ran well or just participated in one?
Say that again, Tim?
Like you ran one well, like a good time, or like you participated one in a 15K and didn't train? Like,
yeah, good question.
That's the question.
That's a good question.
The world wants to know too, Tim. What are you drinking?
I've been told it's root beer, but it's got this weird like cherry taste as well, so I'm not sure.
It's cherry root beer, man. Making all sorts of new flavors in this corner.
Ryan Ennis is here.
What's up,
Yeah,
Ryan?
he's probably cheating.
Ryan. Branson does not think I can run a 15K.
Man, the doubt is real. Golly, man, believe, Branson. You got to believe, okay? We got three.
Hope is encouraging me down there at the bottom.
Hope, thank you, but you also got Tim Cherry when you
Thank you, Hope. That was my exact question about
to get root beer. So Sarah Jervis first up there says clap, then Ryan says jump, then Branson on the 15K. Those are the top three. It looks like.
Yeah. Like maybe everybody can clap with their feet, but has everyone clapped with their feet?
Tim, show us if you can do it, please, just for comparison.
Like, you just.
I can't see your feet. What? You're probably cheating.
You know, we couldn't see your hands while you did that. So
yeah.
That.
Yeah, but can you make the sound without shoes on?
Yeah, Chris
You
is gonna rap.
make a sound. You could do it.
Yeah, but if there's no sound happening, then are you clapping?
It's true. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, it'll make a sound.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
When I was in high school, my dad was supposed to run a 15K, and he got sick with pneumonia. So my middle name is his first name, so I ran under his name. And somebody bet me if I could run it in less than an hour and a half. And I did. I ran it in an hour and 15 minutes.
Dude, okay.
I was in pretty good shape because it was during baseball season and we had an off week.
And you were fresh off the pitch, the pitch.
Yeah. Year in high school. I was much skinnier back then. I could not go run a 15K right now.
I could walk them, sure.
I can indeed clap with my feet. I figured that out in college, that I can do it barefooted.
Video proof, here it comes.
I am barefoot.
Here it comes. Oh, man, that is great. That is gold. Everyone, if you're at home, take a break. Try to clap with your feet.
Yeah, I want everybody to go try to clap with your feet right now. I've never jumped out of an airplane, and I do not have any desire to jump out of an airplane.
Oh, snap. I'm 3 for 3. Let's go.
My wife, Becca, before we got married, was like, she really wanted to do it and considered it, but hopefully we had children, and now she does not either. So,
yeah, you couldn't pay me to jump out of an airplane. I'm terrified of heights.
Nope, no way I'm doing that.
Tim, I feel like you would for sure do that.
I for sure would not do that.
I feel like if the three of us went up there and we pushed you out of the plane, you would for sure do it.
I mean, in that regard, yeah. If I was pushed out of a plane, then yes, I would do it.
We'll record you.
Yeah.
So that's who got that. Ryan. Okay, that hurt my soul to say that, but Ryan got that right. So Ryan, however you texted Chris or however you did that, congratulations. Goodman, have you jumped out of a plane? I want to know the truth. I feel like you totally would. You're a cool cat. I feel like you would have jumped out. And
so I want the experience of it. I want the free fall experience, but I don't want to go through it to get it. I
feel like there's like technology nowadays. There's a simulator. We could just put some VR headset on and whoa, man.
No, it's not the same.
We felt that. We'll do that again.
You know, like.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what you got? What's number 4?
Number 4. All right. So I have Justin Timberlake's autograph. I played the drums for Jordan Smith, who was NBC's The Voice's winner a few years ago. And I've met Stephen Furtick.
Those are all, Justin.
So JT's autograph, played drums for The Voice's winner, and met Stephen Furtick.
Was it for his Christmas album?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
They're coming in. They are coming in. Oh, indoor skydiving. Oh, look at that. I know the thing. Drums.
Met the dude.
Met the dude. We got. What is the first guest you see up there?
Me.
I see his third one.
Third one.
No, I see.
Abigail says drums. Emma Hayes says third one, which was Stephen Furtick. And then Olivia Holt says Justin Timberlake.
Listen, if it was Justin Timberlake and that is true, I feel like Olivia Holt is going to give you a hug through this.
She might
She
try
put
to
Shawn Mendes
from me.
Yeah. Her and Jared Holt are huge Shawn Mendes fans. So send Jared some Shawn Mendes music later when you get a chance.
Nice.
All right. So we got some up there. All right. Story time. I'm excited.
Story time. Okay. So, so I met Jordan Smith before he went on The Voice at Lee University, which is where I went to school. And I played the drums in a band for a summer camp one year in which he was one of the worship leaders. So it was pre-Voice winner, but I played the drums for him. When I was a senior in college, I got the opportunity to go lead worship at this conference. And while I was there, we had finished our sound check and I was walking out and I passed this other guy walking in with an entourage of people, and later found out it was the speaker that night, which was indeed Stephen Furtick. He shook my hand and was so down to earth. It was just like, hey, I'm Stephen. And I was like, hey, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. And we kept going. And then when I was in the back room later that night, he walked out on stage to speak, and I was like, oh, that's Stephen Furtick. So it was before he was super huge, but it was after he wrote one of his first books, like When the Sun Stands Still or something like that. But unfortunately, I do not have JT's autograph. It's on the bucket list to make it to one of his concerts before he ends his career.
Which is probably going to be never. He's probably 6 years old putting out stuff. Also,
so good.
Question: did you, after meeting Furtick, did you ever wash your hand again? And B, did your hand break from the amount of strength that he has?
Okay, so if you go back several years ago, Stephen Furtick was not jacked like he is now. He was a really skinny dude, and he's I think a little bit
like
shorter.
Me.
So no. My hand did not break because he was not jacked. He looked like a little dude.
Yeah, it's like 4 Furticks in one now, I feel like.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so that is Olivia Holt. You are on the board. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Olivia. So right now we have Branson, Abigail, Ryan, and Olivia, which means I'm going to need one of you to duplicate this. I'm going to need one of y'all to have a quick response. All right, next one. What you got?
All right, this is the last one.
How many years ago? Wait, how many years ago are we talking? People want to know.
For what?
For, I guess, when you met Furtick. And
I met Furtick in 2011. So we're talking about 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Next year, I will have been out of college for 10 years.
Man, I would have been out of this year, you said?
2021, next year.
2021. I would have been out of, not even in 2021, I would not have been out of high school for 10 years. So it's okay, man. I feel it. Yeah, that's why I'm your sidekick, 100%. All right, what's your next one, Mario?
All right, this is the last set. I have been in a car chase. I have been arrested, and I've thrown water balloons at innocent bystanders at a college campus.
So all 3 of those are telling me this man he's in trouble. He's a troublemaker, okay? I feel like he should be arrested for the innocent bystanders and the car chase. You said car chase, and I instantly, for some reason, just thought of Goonies. Like, opening scene, like they're chasing that car. 100%. I just picture you in Goonies being chased down. Oh, they're coming in.
Yeah.
Juicy.
All right, let's see.
1, 2, 3. Okay, Branson with 1. Wait, was 1 your arrest?
No, car chase.
Car chase. So Branson says car chase.
Connor arrested.
Says arrested.
And then
third one goes to Adam Goff, I think.
Whoa, Adam Goff up on here. Man, he snuck in here. All right, story time.
Story time. So, in college, late at night, we'd get bored and we would decide to fill water balloons.
It's never a good start to any story. I know what's going to happen.
In college, we get bored. So,
And so we filled water balloons and we would drive through campus throwing water balloons at people playing intramurals, people watching intramurals, people walking down the sidewalk. We did this a handful of times. I got the idea from my high school baseball coach, who told me when they were in college, they made this slingshot that would shoot water balloons over a dorm. And so they would have like a caller calling out, move it to the left a little bit or move it to the right so that they could hit people. So one night I was in college and we were bored and I was like, hey, I've got this great idea. Let's get some water balloons and go hit people with them. And so we did a few different times. I don't recommend doing it now, though. The world's a very different place.
Yeah, I was going to say, any best hit stories?
My favorite, I feel so bad about it now, but we went one time and I was riding in the back seat on the driver's side, and we turned down the street. We were basically done, but a few of the balloons had busted in the bag that we had. It was a white trash bag. And we see this one girl walking down the street carrying her books. Oh. I reach my arm out the window and throw it over the car, and it like surrounds her and engulfs her. And obviously we didn't stick around to see what happened, but I just remember seeing the white trash bag bear hug this girl.
And to this day, she does not use white trash bags, nor does she go anywhere around water. She hasn't showered
or go down.
She's done.
Dude.
So, one time we were doing this, and I was not throwing the balloons. I was just driving. And we were driving down the middle of our campus, and this girl, one of my friends, I will not name her, was in the back seat. And she basically leans out the window and just pegs these two girls. And right before she threw it, I felt like those two were trouble. So I said, hey, don't do it. Don't throw it. Because we were way too close anyway. I think normally we didn't even hit anybody, but she does. And so we kind of get out of that area and go around the block a little bit. Well, about 3 minutes later, this Mustang jumps out behind us and begins chasing us all throughout the college campus. I mean, we're just going. This person will not leave us alone. So that was the car chase that I've been in. It ended up very like anticlimactic at the end. Like finally, I just realized, what are they going to do? Like there's a few of us in the car, and it's just one of them. So finally, I stopped at a gas station, at a stop sign, and just waited. And then they eventually drove off in frustration and anger, and we had a good laugh about it. But I have never been arrested for the activities.
He has never been arrested, y'all.
Never been arrested.
Though, if you know the cops who are looking for him still because of that night, he just confessed. So
we got him. We got him.
Years.
Yeah, that's
10-year case finally lines up to this. We got him.
Yeah, we got him.
Connor Diesel. Oh, Connor got it right. Connor, you're on the board, which means that we have a tiebreaker.
No winner, right?
No winner.
Which if LK didn't win, that means we win, right?
Yeah, we're the real winners here. Connor, well, we'll take Ryan. Who do you want to give your point to?
Give it up, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, you give your point up. It's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
For the kids. All right, Ryan, it's up to you, man. Who are you going to give it to?
Mark, I don't know, but I hope it's more than 7 years or less than 7 years.
I think it's 12. I think it's 12 years. Just saw it come out. I saw it on the news the other day.
They can still get me.
If Ryan doesn't respond, okay, that is, man, boo, Ryan. Now you're going to make your wife choose who to give that to. That's just, come on, man. All right.
Wow.
You know what? Since Branson, you were the first person to get one right, I feel like it's only fair for Tim to decide who should win.
It's Chris's game. Shouldn't he pick?
Yeah, sure. The pressure. Anyways, while we are deciding who wins, if anybody has any, Ryan, your options are Branson, Abigail, Olivia, or Connor Diesel. Please don't give it to Connor Diesel. But while we're going, if anyone has any questions, last second questions for Chris.
Branson, which is definitely LK, probably.
All right, Branson, you get the dub. Oh, and LK is rooting for you. There you go. What a good sister. Okay, after you let him up, after you're holding him down, you had to say that. All right, Branson gets the dub. There you go. Good job, Branson. Anyone have any questions for Chris before he gets ready to leave us and go have more time to? Okay. Last question didn't come in there, Chris. I think it's all muddled. Yeah, I couldn't really read that. Whoever Page Madden is, I think you might need to clear up what you're trying to say. I came in wrong.
What language did Paige write in?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like Google Translate somebody, please. Why are you with your favorite chapel staff people, Tim and Drew? I guess that's what I translated to.
That's what I gathered.
Yeah, that's what I got out of that too.
The people know.
Yeah, Paige, this is bad. All right. So, all right. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, Chris, thank you much for joining us.
Yeah, dude.
And I guess lessons learned from this are do not hit people with balloons unless you want to be running for your life for the next 12 years. And also we learned that Chris can run a 15K while also going to the World Series.
Something like that.
Sorry, I'm not answering questions right now, Paige. You have to talk to my associate. But Chris, we love you. And we thank you for everything you do. And I'm glad that you inspired me to shave the stash. And how long is the stash going to stay? That'll be my last question for you.
So the stash will be gone in probably the next hour.
In an hour. Okay, in an hour, guys, we want to see a photo posted. Starting at, what is it, 6:33. There will be a photo.
Yeah, 8-year-old Chris.
Yeah, change his name again. You have to change your name again because we barely recognize you. My mustache will be here until the rest grows in.
No, Paige.
Yeah, Paige, that question came in English. We can see that clear as day.
Oh, wax it off.
Ow.
Oh.
I feel like that's the next fundraiser for Drew to get money for the youth.
Why is it every time somebody comes on here, they advertise something like that?
Yeah, every week, someone trying to get me to hurt myself. All the time. This should have. I can never do it again. All right.
I feel like there's no greater comedy than watching someone willingly hurt themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're on with all the questions.
that's
You
not
should do
true.
the next thing. We haven't seen you do anything. I feel like it was great.
I think that'd be a great campus pastor project.
Yes.
Volunteering.
You guys are cruel to me. Anyways, Tim. Tim's going to go ahead and pray, and as Tim's praying, then we'll get ready to start transition to the next part. Chris, we love you. We thank you. We're glad that you're here, and you look like a new man in less than an hour now. So,
Love y'all. Have a good night.
all right, see you, man.
Everybody. Oh, and he's gone.
I love Chris, man. Golly, those are some crazy stories.
Right? Like,
Yeah, I think what I learned is whoever is out here, if the youth just want to stay 6 feet away and want to light up outside of their houses, Tim and I would love to drive by with water balloons and just peg you. And I know some of you aren't old enough to chase us in cars, so that's even better.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah, and then I will shave really quick so you don't know who I am, and I'll get away with it clear as day.
On the Play-Doh mustache.
Yeah.
I'll take yours that you shaved and boom.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to transition. I'm going to go ahead and pray. And as I pray, Tim's going to go ahead and give us our talk tonight. So if you guys could, I do not think I'm Baker Mayfield, Garrison Rose. I'm way better than him. So don't do that to me. Dear God, thank you so much for who you are. Thank you so much for being constant, for being good, and for that just never changing no matter what's happening in life. Thank you for being bigger than Corona. Thank you for being bigger than our fears and our anxieties and our worries, our stress. Thank you for being bigger than our highs in life. Thank you for being bigger than the joys that we find in life and bigger than the happiness the happiness that we walk into. God, I ask that you be with Tim as he gives us our talk for the next little bit, God, that you would hide him behind the cross and that only you would speak forward and that your glory would be revealed and that something would speak to the hearts of each of us that are listening, that are talking, that are participating. God, you are good. We love you and we thank you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, guys, we are in and going to be starting a new series called Atypical. And what this series is all about is families. And now I know that the first reaction to hearing somebody say, hey, we're going to talk about families is, oh, I'm going to go check out. Because, yeah, I know I should be more patient with my siblings and I should respect my parents. And, yeah, I hear it all the time. Honor your parents. And that's our first reaction because we hear all these things and we know that stuff. But don't tune us out just yet because while all of that is true, this series is a little different because it's more about how God uses our families for his plans, but most importantly, how God uses atypical families, weird families, messed up families to produce a lot of good in the world. So don't tune out just yet. Give it a chance. One series, one session. If you don't, if that's not you, that's fine. But just this one time, stay with me. So this series is going to show us a lot about how God uses families. And what I want to look at is this whole series is going to talk about one particular family and kind of look into specifics of all their different little groups. But let's talk big picture today. Today we're talking about Adam and Eve. And we're going to go all the way through Jesus. We're not going to hit every little family note, but we're just going to look at big picture. So what you need to know about Adam and Eve is really simple. They are the first people created by God. And they live in this garden called the Garden of Eden. And it's perfect, and they're made perfect, and God says they're very good, and they know no wrong. They never sinned. They don't know what sin is because it doesn't exist yet, and it's great. Everything is perfect and awesome. And then they decide that they're going to not listen to God, and they're going to do their own thing. And what that does is it brings sin into the world, and it now makes them unperfect. And because God is perfect and just, he cannot be in the presence of sin because sin is evil and God is good. So what he does is simple. He sends them out of the garden and then they're banished from the life they knew. They now get all these punishments because now that God is just, he has to serve proper justice. So now they've got to work really hard for their food. There's a lot more pain and now they're going to die. And then to make matters worse, because if you're thinking, wow, that's pretty bad, they really messed that up. It gets a lot worse for this family because then they have kids and they have two sons at first, Cain and Abel. And what happens to them is kind of similar, but a little different. What happens is they're both told to bring an offering to God. God's like, bring me an offering. And they both bring different offerings. Abel brings some fruit and some vegetables and all that stuff. And Cain brings some animals. And what happens is God likes Abel's, but doesn't like Cain's. And Cain gets really upset about this. And he does what every rational sibling would do. And he decides, hey, I'm just going to murder Abel and the problem will be solved. So he kills Abel. And God's like, all right, you really messed that up. And now you got to, because you sinned and you turned away, I've got to punish you. So he punishes Cain. And Cain's sent out. And what happens? And what happens is he goes out, he has a bunch of kids, and they ruin the earth and they corrupt it. So God sends a flood. But it doesn't stop there because God brings Noah, and then Noah has a family, and then Noah's family messes up, and then Abraham's family messes up. And Adam's family, from the beginning of Adam all the way through till we get to Jesus, is nothing in the story of Israel, is nothing but a story of sin and turning away from God and mess up after mess up after mess up after mess up. And that is one big messed up family. Like I always think about it like, man, my family has their own problems and they're messed up in their own way, but at least we're not that bad. Like, at least I've never murdered my brother. At least I've never sold my brother into slavery, because that's another thing that happens in their family line. At least I've never stole my brother's birthright. It's a little different now, but you get the gist. And I say this because a lot of times we think, okay, I'm too messed up for God to use me. my family is for sure too messed up for God to use me. Like, it's just, there's no way that's going to happen. He's going to choose a better family that's not so messed up and doesn't mess up and doesn't turn away from him and doesn't have all these problems. No, the Bible is not telling you to kill your brother. Please don't take that away. But we always think that I'm too messed up. I'm not good enough. My family's not good enough for God to use me. And that's just not how it works. And Paul, when he writes the book of Romans, he actually spends a lot of time reminding the Roman church about the history of Israel and what they've done, good and bad. And there's a particular verse I want to look at. And I'll go ahead and say it. There's a couple other verses that go with it, and we'll talk about them real fast in a minute, and I'm going to go out of order. But I want to look at one in particular, and that's in Romans 5, and it's verse 20. If you want to kind of bookmark that, that's cool. If you want to fact check me, as I always say, you can trust me. I promise I'm telling you what it is. But if you ever want to be like questioning what I say or making sure I'm actually reading the Bible, I always encourage you guys to do that. That's Romans 5, verse 20. I'm reading from NLT, which is just my own preferred version, but this is what it says. This is Paul writing to the Roman church. He goes, God's law was given so that all people could see how sinful they were. But as people sinned more and more, God's wonderful grace became more abundant. And the verses before that and the verses after that are interesting because what Paul is writing about is he compares Adam and Jesus. He's like, hey, Adam was sinful, and because he sinned, he brought the rest of the world to sin, and because he sinned, it corrupted the whole world, and now we all have to die because of Adam. And then he says, but Jesus, because Jesus was perfect and good and righteous, now through him, the world can be made right, and the world can be righteous. And that's the whole kind of context of what he's getting at. But that verse that I read in particular is interesting because you read it in that context, and it is about between Jesus and Adam, but it also is shining a light at a bigger truth here. And it's talking about big picture, not just one person. It's talking about the whole family, because as we sin more and more, God's grace and mercy and love is more and more. Now, that's not me greenlighting you going out to sin and do all these wrong things you know you shouldn't do and sin. Let's make that clear. That's not what I'm saying. But let's look at what that verse is saying in the context of the whole story from Adam and Eve. All right, we're going to run through this really quick. As always, I actually just encourage you guys to go and actually read these stories for yourself because there's a lot in there that I'm not going to talk about. But watch this. Watch what happens when the people of Israel sin and what God does, because it's interesting. So Adam and Eve, they sin, right? They sin and they eat that fruit, and they realize they're naked and they become embarrassed and they become ashamed. And then they hide, and then God finds out that they sinned. And then God's like, okay, because you sinned, I'm righteous. You're not. So you got to go. So you would assume if you're punishing somebody, you're just going to send them out. You know what? Like, they're messed up and I'm good. I'm not going to be in the presence of them. I don't care about them anymore. Get out. But it actually makes this sub note to give them clothes. And he fashions clothes to cover themselves, and then sends them out, but he doesn't leave them. He's kind of always still with them. He still interacts. And we know this because he talks to Cain and Abel. He kicked them out of the garden, but he also went with them. And then Cain murders Abel. And what happens? Cain gets punished. He gets sent out. And Cain's like, if I go out there, they're going to kill me. And God's like, no, they're not. I'm going to mark you. And that mark's going to let people know who you are. And you're always going to be reminded, and they're going to be reminded of what you did. But no one's going to touch you. I'm going to protect you because of that. And then it goes from Cain and his descendants. And then he's going to flood the earth because it's so bad. But he saves Noah because his love for Noah. And he saves Noah. And then we get to David. And David has a lot of messed up. And then David messes up, but God forgives him. And he strengthens Israel through David. And you fast forward and you go, hey, Israelites mess up. Well, they get enslaved. But then God frees them. And all of these things. And then you get to Jesus. And Jesus was righteous. And he was perfect. And he was good. And he died for us. But Matthew starts the story of Jesus by reminding you of his family line, who came before him. And it's interesting because Matthew lists a lot of important people in in the Israel history, but he also lists a lot of people who were messed up. He ends up talking about a couple prostitutes that are in Jesus's line, a couple people who turned away from God in a big way. And he talks about all these things. But what's interesting to me about it is that he still used that family as many times as they turned away from him, as many times as they turned away from each other. But most importantly, every time that God saved them, they almost immediately said, yeah, we're still going to do it our way. And God still loved and forgave them. How messed up they were. And it makes me wonder, is my family too messed up for God to use? Because the answer there is no. But why do I think that? Like, what is it about me that thinks that I can't be used when God uses people like that? And I often wonder about that a lot. But here's the thing I want you to get. Don't ever think you're not good enough for God, because the truth is you're not. None of us are. And that's what's beauty about grace and what's good about mercy. But don't ever think that you're not good enough for God to use you, because God doesn't use good enough people. God uses broken and messed up people, and he uses messed up families the most. Adam's family was without a doubt the most corrupt, messed up family that has ever existed. Make your arguments all you want. History backs it up, in my opinion. But they're so messed up in so many different ways, and God uses them to bring about Jesus. If God can use a family like Adam's, he can sure use a family like mine, and a family like yours, and a family like Drew's, and a family like everybody. And Drew might have more to add in just a minute. He'll come back on in a second if he wants to come back on. He might have more to add. But honestly, I don't want to go into specifics about how your family can be used, how God can use you to use your family. I don't want to do that, because that would be depriving our small group leaders from that opportunity. And I think this is a really good conversation to have in your small groups and to dig deep in with your small groups today. So your leaders have some questions, and they're going to walk through them and think about ways that your family, as messed up and as not normal as you might think it is, how God can use them and how God can use you in your families. Because God uses messed up families. Drew, do you have anything to add? I know I talked a lot, so.
No, man, you did not talk a lot. You talked, and you carried out some truth. So I appreciate you doing that. Tim, like I said, every week, I appreciate you and your passion and love that you have for people, your passion and love you have for Jesus, and your passion and love to be able to communicate between the two. So, yeah, I think that's a good message. I think, I'm not going to go in a lot of detail because Tim did a great job of covering a lot of that and hitting on a lot of that stuff. But yeah, atypical families, right? We all have one, right? So everyone has a different family situation. Everyone has different things going on currently, right now, or have things happened in the past, or things that could happen just in our lives. And so that's the thing is the brokenness and the pain and the discomfort and things that happen in our relationships do not define God. God defines who we become through those relationships when we trust in him. And just an example of an atypical family, for those of you who do not know, I grew up, my parents were married until high school, and then they divorced and they split. And then my mom is remarried now. And so there's a lot of atypical things that happen through that. There's a lot of things through high school and your age, driving my siblings back and forth, to houses, or back and forth to events or to youth group or to whatever it is. But even though there's a lot of pain in there, to this day, I can see a lot of ways that God was able to use people in my life in that time, people that actually went to church here at the chapel, and other people around, that he was able to impact me in a positive way, even though there were negative things going on around me. And so oftentimes we look right now, we think, man, this is the end of the world. And you know what? It might be the end of we might feel like presently it is the end of everything. But it's just crazy to see how God can use even the craziest circumstances to make even beautiful result. So God doesn't make the pain happen. He doesn't make people get divorced. He doesn't make people pass away. He doesn't make people do those things. But he, by all accounts, can use unfortunate things for very amazing purposes. We love you guys. And I guess what Tim was saying as we get ready to go, we're not going to continue to talk about our personal situations and your personal situations because we want to leave that time and this next time for small groups. We're getting ready to end to go into small groups. Small groups are going to start in about 9 minutes. It might start at a later time depending on your small group leader when you meet. But from here, we're going to go into small groups, and you'll be able to talk about what's going on in life, just maybe goof off, have a good time, and then potentially talk about, too, maybe what your family's experiencing. Because let's think about it. These are atypical times, right? These are times when Corona and quarantine is going on. And so you're going to have some family drama probably happen if you haven't had it already. And so I don't think there's a better timing for the Lord to put this message on Tim for this week. So for those of you guys, our small groups are broken up into Zoom meeting groups. And so what's going to happen is your individual leaders are going to reach out to you and send you the meeting password, send you their meeting ID so you can join that. If you do not have access to that, your small group leaders, if you feel free to do this, go ahead and put your numbers in this chat so people that can see that. He redeems the pain. That's a good word right there, Ms. Page. He redeems the pain 100%. He can turn brokenness into some beautiful things. Beauty from ashes is another thing. So you guys, you go ahead and put your text in there. I'll let you know who's who. So John Bostaine is going to be our upperclassman guys small group leader from Brunswick, and Bostaine is going to be our 10th to 12th grade girls. So if you don't have her number, you need her information, go ahead and message us or let her know on there, and she will send you a text. KK will be leading our middle school girls small group as well. So Abigail, go ahead and get a hold of her. But yeah, yes, as you're here, we love you. Eham, there you go. So Emily's our high school girls leader at Eham. There's her number. And as you guys are getting ready to log out and transition into small group time this week, just want you to a quick few announcements. Tomorrow is Monday, so tomorrow night we'll be playing Mafia on Zoom. There's Megan. She's our Eham middle school girls leader. We'll play Mafia tomorrow night. What time, Tim?
I don't know. The time has changed twice now. Is it 6 still, or is it?
Yeah. No, we're going to do, last time it was good. We're going to go 6. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. There you go. 6. Garrison 3 times says 6. All right. 6 o'clock. Mafia, 6 o'clock. Wednesday, we will have live worship on this same channel. Jacob Osarge will be leading us in worship. Tuesday, you should see maybe some students doing a live devotional through Instagram. Thursday, small group leaders, we'll do trivia on here again, but we will be doing trivia at a later date. At a later time, we'll do it at 8 o'clock because I know the 6 o'clock did not really work out. Friday, we'll do some more live devotionals on Instagram, and then we will see you back here on Sunday. Make sure to reach out to us throughout the week if you need prayer for anything. If you need some ideas, we might be doing different stuff, so just get a hold of us. But we love y'all, and we're going to get ready to close the time. Tim, anything else you want to add as people are starting to head to small group?
No, I think I'm good. I see a lot of people are now just typing as many numbers in as they can.
Yeah.
Yes, 232 exactly. That's a perfect number.
How about this? How about I'll do a game at 4 and a game at 6? I'll do one game each. Whoever wants to join in on those can join in.
There you go. We'll do 1 at 4, 1 at 6. There we go.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Thank you. No problem.
All right. So we're closing. Any questions for Tim and I? We'll give you 5 to 5. We'll give you 5 minutes. If there's any questions you can ask Tim and I, we'll use this as Q&A time until small groups happen. If no one asks any questions, we'll go ahead and end soon. Small groups are happening at 6. So we're closing down at 6 regardless.
Closing her down.
All right. Y'all and your numbers are having a grand old time. Nolan, if you type a longer number, I'm driving by there with the water balloon. Yeah. Also, Connor Diesel, are you still in here? Nolan, Olivia, Branson, you guys have your small group leader stuff? Connor, do you have your small group leader stuff? Also, does Bradley have theirs? Let me know. Megan, I know you've got it. Emma Hayes, I know you've got it. Connor Diesel, Katie Diesel, do you guys have it? I saw you all chatting in there a second ago. Who? Jenny's Braves, are you Connor or Bradley? I have a feeling you're Connor. Connor, do you have your small group information? Connor, go text Mr. John on his number that he put up there. He sent in, and he'll invite you to small group. Yeah, Connor, go up there. You'll see his number up there. Text him, and he'll send you his invite. Sweet. All right. Y'all, should I grow the beard back, or should I just shave the whole face? Grow the beard back or shave the whole face?
Oh, man.
It's a tough call. Look at old John Bramlett. Sun's out, guns out, John. All right, beard coming back. Okay. Y'all some haters. I'll grow it back.
You half your face beard, half of it shaved.
Yeah, like this. And then I'll shave this stash, so I'll just look like this.
There you
go. Yeah. First day back of youth, whenever we have it, I'll have half a stash.
Dude, I cannot wait.
Shave the whole – Terry, how are you going to tell me to shave the whole face? Oh, you don't like beards, do you? Does she like beards? Mark, is Mark here? Mark, help. But, Ann, I don't want to shave it and then grow it back, because I'm going to grow it back, then I've just got to keep it. Do whatever you have to do to get rid of the mustache. Shots fired. Listen, I'm going to get rid of that mustache, Emily. As this beard continues to grow, I'll trim it up.
Drew, don't let them make you do anything you don't want. I think you should never touch it. Just leave it, let everything else grow around it.
Oh, okay.
Just out of spite.
Sounds good. Just like that. I'll just leave it. But the beard. Shave. So Emily says do grow the beard. Okay, sounds good.
There you go.
Thank you, Emily. I still love me too. Yeah, I don't want to see me just once with a clean face, okay? I'm scared. I haven't seen that in a long time. I look like I'm 20 years. I'll look Tim's age. And I'm older than Tim.
I mean, yeah, I don't think anybody questioned that.
Yeah. Mark isn't allowed to grow in. Uh-oh. Yikes. Terry,
Notice how that was worded. Notice that. Not allowed.
Shave the eyebrows next. Emma Hayes, don't try to bully me on side. This is called cyberbullying, okay? Which is a thing. Don't do it. If you know of someone doing it, tell somebody. It's not okay.
Wow, popular.
Is that you can hear me? I've got.
Those knuckles.
All right, 1 minute about to go. Ding, 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 ding. Shave those knuckles. Yikes. John Bramlett. John, do you shave your knuckles? That's what I want to know. I don't look Tim's age. I'm not talking about now, silly. All right, 6 o'clock. Y'all, Drew and Tim time is over. It's time for small groups. We love you. Get connected. Small groups are where it's at. We're glad that you can be here. week in and week out, and we love chatting with you. We love having a good time, but the conversations in small groups are really where it's at, and where you're going to have a lot of growth and a lot of good memories and things. So love you guys. Leaders, if you're still here, go ahead and send me your text me your meeting ID, and I might hop in at some point in time throughout this night. I'd love to. Here, I'm going to send you my number. Send me your meeting ID, and I'll hop in.
Oh, snap.
What's up? Hello.
Oh, are you
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna Zoom.
All right, guys. I'm closing up shop. I love y'all. Get plugged into small groups. That's what matters. This matters too, but small groups. Come on.